You never asked to be in a love triangle, but here you were, smack in the middle of Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo, two of the most competitive people on the entire planet. It started off small. Deku would carry your books, and Bakugo would yank them away and throw them at your desk, before muttering something about not needing help from a damn nerd. Deku would offer you snacks, only for Bakugo to steal them and eat them, aggressively, and claim that they don't need your pity food, Deku. At first you thought it was just their usual rivalry, but things began to escalate. The breakfast incident. It was a normal morning in the dorms, and you were peacefully eating your cereal when... Here, Ryan! Deku plopped a perfectly plated omelet in front of you, eyes sparkling with hope. I made this for you. It's a new recipe that's packed with nutrients. You heard. You turn around. Like they'd eat that weak-ass omelet, Bakugo scoffed, slamming his own plate. His omelet was... well, looked like it had been cooked with rage. Mine's better. Eat it, dumbass. I think I can decide what I eat, you started, but Bakugo had already snatched Deku's omelet and thrown it in the trash. Bakugo! You screeched. What, want to fight about it, nerd? You sighed, slowly chewing your cereal as they screamed at each other. This was going to be a long day. During a training exercise, you were paired with Deku and Bakugo. Bad idea. Lian, I'll protect you, Deku declared, standing in front of you with full determination. Like hell you will. They don't need your protection, you extra. Bakugo roared, shoving Deku aside and standing in front of you instead. Katsuki, you're being reckless, Deku whined. And you're being annoying, Katsuki shouted back. While they bickered, the opposing team's attack came flying towards you. You barely dodged, rolling out of the way. And when you looked up, they were still arguing, completely oblivious to any of the chaos happening around them. Guys, you shouted. I almost just got hit. Both their faces turned to you, panic on them. Deku grabbed your shoulders. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Bakugo pushed him off. They're fine, don't touch them, nerd. You groaned. Oh my god, just let me train in peace. Kirishima, who saw your suffering, decided to make things worse a while later by hosting a Who Knows When Better quiz. Alright, first question, Kirishima grinned, pacing around the common room. What is Ryan's favorite color? Deku confidently wrote his answer and turned his board around. Blue! Bakugo smirked and turned his board. Red, obviously. You blinked, staring at them. It's green. Both boys looked personally offended. What? Bakugo growled. Deku gasped. Since when? Since always? You said, tilting your head. I mean, it's not like I mention it every day, but still. I'm gonna remember this forever, Deku declared, looking heartbroken. Bakugo crossed his arms. Stupid color anyway. The hand-holding war. One of the worst moments came when you were walking with them after class, your hands in your pockets, minding your own damn business, when suddenly, Deku gently reached for your hand, blushing. I mean, it's a little cold out, so if you want, I can... Before he could even finish his sentence, Bakugo stormed forward, grabbing your wrist and yanking it away. No, not happening. Keep your filthy hands to yourself, nerd. Deku gasped. Katsuki, you can't just... What are you gonna do? Cry about it? Bakugo smirked. You're being immature, Deku scolded. And you're being annoying, Katsuki shouted back. You groaned loudly. Oh my god, stop! They both flinched, immediately releasing you, looking guilty. You sighed, rubbing your temples. Look, I get it, you guys are... whatever the hell this is, but can we all just talk like normal human beings? They nodded. Silence. And then, as soon as you continued walking, Deku very carefully looped his pinky around yours and Bakugo, shoving his entire hand into yours and claiming it like a child claimed a toy. You sighed deeply. This was your life. The final showdown. One day you snapped. You were in the common room trying to study when suddenly... Lian, you want to watch a movie? Deku asked sweetly. Dumbass. They don't want to watch a dumbass movie. Bakugou growled, sitting next to you. They want to go to the gym. You stared at them, and then you slammed your book shut and you stood up. And that's it, you yelled. They both flinched. I don't know what weird kind of competition you guys are having, but I am not a prize. You just act normal about me. They both hesitated, then Deku mumbled. Bakugou crossed his arms and scoffed, looking away. Silence. You sighed, sitting back down. Cue. A beat of silence passed. Then, but if you had to choose, Deku stood. Bakugou slammed his hand on the table. Deku, I swear to God. You groaned. Bakugou was never going to end. And, listen, you never meant for things to spiral out of control or about, but it had started innocently enough. I mean, okay, listen. You stayed the night in Bakugou's dorm after a long study session, and the next night you ended up in Deku's room and wanted to show you a new strategy breakdown for hero combat. You figured it would be fine. They didn't need to know, but of course, they found out. Night 1, Bakugou's dorm. Oi, dumbass, you're drooling on my pillow, he grumbled. You barely opened your eyes, groggy from sleep. Huh? You, he poked your forehead. Are a goddamn menace. You were too comfortable to care. Bakugou's bed was surprisingly soft and nice. It was soft but firm and cozy, but it smelled like burnt caramel and it was kind of nice. His room, though clean, had an underlying chaos to it, just like him. You let me stay, so this is your fault, you mumbled. He scoffed. Yeah, whatever. Despite all his usual yelling, Bakugou had been weirdly quiet that night. You two had studied, fought over snacks, and then crashed into his bed without much thought. But now, in the early morning light, Bakugou had kept staring at you. What? You asked. Nothing, he muttered, quickly looking away. You were too tired to question it. Night 2, Deku's dorm. The next night, you were in Deku's room, sitting on his bed while he paced back and forth, rambling about some new hero theory. And if you combine agility with short-range attacks, you could totally outmaneuver a stronger opponent, Deku exclaimed, eyes bright with excitement. He nodded along, half listening, half wrapped up in his soft All Might-themed blankets. Deku's room was warm, cluttered with notebooks and hero figures and protein bars. It was dorky, but comforting. At some point you yawned. Deku immediately stopped pacing. Oh, you're tired? You can totally sleep in here if you want. He blinked. Are you sure? He yawned while speaking. Of course, he smiled, cheeks dusted with pink. So you stayed, and it just was like Bakugou's dorm. It felt easy, and you didn't really think much of it. Until the morning. It started in the common room. You were making yourself tea when you noticed Bakugou and Deku standing oddly close, whispering furiously. That was never a good sign. You're about to slip away when... Lian? Your soul left your body. You turned to see them both staring at you hard. You got something to say? Bakugou said, crossing his arms. Deku's expression was less aggressive, but his eyebrows furrowed. Lian, were you in Bakugou's dorm yesterday? Your brain short-circuited. And the night before that, Bakugou continued, you were in Deku's dorm. You blinked. I don't know. You had been caught. They stared at you, waiting for an answer. I can explain? Bakugou cracked his knuckles. You better explain. Deku went red in the face. It wasn't clear if he was flustered or angry. Lian, were you choosing between us? What? No. You waved your hands frantically. It just, happened. Bakugou scoffed. Yeah? Well, it happened twice. Deku frowned. So you spent the night with both of us? You winced. Not like that. Well, we all just hung out and I fell asleep, that's all. They didn't look too convinced. You slept in my bed, Bakugo said through good teeth. Yeah, well, why also slept in my bed? Deku shot back. His eye twitched. So what? You like their nerdy-ass room better? Deku's hands balled into fists. Maybe they just wanted peace instead of listening to you snore like a damn explosion all night. You sighed. Oh my god, guys. You saying I snore? Bakugo growled. Yes, Deku huffed. Like you don't? I bet Ryan had to deal with you muttering all night. Deku gasped. Ryan, did I talk in my sleep? You bit your lip. I mean, you did mutter about your all-night workout poster at one point, but Deku looked mortified. Bakugo cackled. And you definitely drooled, you added. Bakugo froze. What? Deku just smirked. Oh, it looks like someone isn't as perfect as they think. You want to die, Deku? As they started bickering, you rubbed your temples. Okay, enough. You guys acting like I betrayed you or something. It's not like I chose one over the other. It just happened. You two were blowing this way out of proportion. Silence. And then Deku mumbled. Okay, but if you had to choose. Deku, are you serious? Bakugo growled. Deku flinched. I'm just asking. He groaned. Oh my god. Shut up. They both went quiet again, staring at you. He took a deep breath. You guys are great. Listen, but I'm not dealing with this dumb rivalry, so you either both calm down or I'm gonna go sleep with Todoroki. Dead silence. Bakugo's eyes twitched and Deku looked pale. They gulped. Fine, Bakugo grumbled. Deku sighed. Okay. Finally. Peace. For around 10 seconds. Then. But if you had, Deku, I swear to God. You grabbed a pillow and threw it at them before storming off. This seemed like it was never going to end. I think you're going to be stuck in this love triangle for a long, long, long time.